What was it like? Because I know you're really tight, obviously, with Wentz when he went down. Zach, walk me through the locker room when that happened and you all had to turn to Nick Foles in the huddle.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, we were playing the Rams at the time, and Carson never shows any real emotion. And for him to kind of sit there on the field pointing at his knee, you kind of knew something was probably pretty wrong. And so they go over to the tent. They do the little knee check. And he just is shaking his head as he was walking out. He walks into the locker room. But the team really didn't dwell on the fact that he wasn't in there. At that point, Carson was the MVP of the league, and no one kind of batted an eye. Everyone was just kind of focusing on their job. I know Foles and our center, Jason Jason Kelsey kind of got up right away, and they started taking snaps together. I mean, that moment for our team could have gone one or two ways. It was either going to be a rallying point for our team or we were going to implode. And the character of our team kind of showed in that moment. Obviously, Carson was a huge part of our Super Bowl team. We wouldn't have been where we were without the foundation that he laid the first 14 games of the season. So, obviously, we rallied around Nick, but this team wouldn't have been where we went without Carson.
You know, and in Zach Ertz here on the Rich Eisen Show, you know, I know the dog masks and how much fun that is, and that is a ton of fun where you're sort of recognizing the lack of confidence in you outside of the locker room by members of the media. I'm raising my hand. I was one of them. I'm not going to lie. I understand that. But for Nick Foles to be asked after the game what the message is, he could have gone in that direction, right? But instead, he talked about his own failures and how we as people in this day and age that put on Instagram and Twitter, it's all about a celebration of our successes, greatness, and how failure is something that can be used to make you better, too. Who is this guy, Zach, to say something like that, right?
That's kind of the Nick we all know and love. I think we live in a society today with social media that everything is kind of that instant like or that kind of favorite on Twitter. No one kind of wants to see you struggling. Everyone kind of wants that instant gratification, whereas that's not real life. Everyone's going to go through highs and lows, especially in this business of football. It's never going to be as good as you think it is or as bad as you think it is. And Nick has obviously been through the ringer the past 3 years. You know, he went to the Rams. I think in 2014 he got traded out there, and he was extremely positive, excited about that, and it just didn't work out as well as he anticipated. And like he said, he was pretty much going to walk away from the game until Coach Reed called him, kind of wanted him to come be the backup for him in Kansas City. And I've spoken to him in the past about that experience, and that's when he kind of said, I started having fun playing football again. You know, being in this city in Philadelphia, if you're losing at times, it's not the most fun because the fans are so passionate. They expect us to win each and every week. But this city right now is so much fun playing for. Our team is probably the closest team I've ever been a part of. And I thought Nick's message after the game was spot on. I don't think anyone could have said it better than that.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.